So we are going to dig a little deeper into the story. We have team coverage now with CBS News correspondent Nikole Killion. She's also following the story from Allen, Texas. So, Nikole, just first off, how has the community responded to this in the wake of this shooting?
Yeah, well, as I'm sure you can see over my shoulder, there is a makeshift memorial that has been erected here outside of the entrance of this outlet mall, and we continue to see people stop by, some just individually, some in groups, to pay their respects. Of course, outlet mall remains closed. People who were here over the weekend, many of them had to flee the scene and are just now being allowed to come back and get their car or get their belongings. So, this community is still trying to grapple with what happened here, because this is just your typical average suburb exurb where you've got, an outlet mall, you have all the big box stores here, and it just kind of brings close to home this notion that this could happen anywhere at any time, and yet it's happened here in Allen, Texas, and now this community trying to grapple with that reality.
And, we've talked about the number of people killed, but I'm sure there were people injured as well. Do we have any information about the people who have been treated for their injuries or who are in the hospital?
Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of information as of yet, not only about the circumstances of the shooting, but also about some of the victims and how they are doing, beyond just an initial statement from one of the local hospitals that said it was treating 4 patients. It said one of those patients was transferred to a children's hospital in fair condition. The other 3 are in critical condition. So we're hopeful that perhaps we can get additional updates on their condition. But we do know that from the shooting on Saturday, some of those individuals who were initially transported also did succumb to their injuries.
Texas is the most populous state that allows people to carry a handgun without a license. Every time something like this happens, there's a conversation about whether or not politicians are doing enough. But there doesn't really seem to be much of an appetite in Texas for stricter gun laws.
Well, we will hear later today from Texas State Senator Rolando Gutierrez, who represents the area of Uvalde. He will be with Uvalde families, and his message will be to consider and take up gun safety legislation that has been proposed. The legislative session here ends at the end of the month, and so his gripe is these bills haven't even had a hearing. And, these are measures that Gutierrez says are common safety measures, whether that is increased training for first responders, additional training for officers, more mental health resources, and the like. So that is something that he will be making the case for later today in the Texas State Capitol down in Austin.
All right, Nikole, thank you.